If you're in the tech or healthcare space in California, you really need to pay attention. A massive regulatory earthquake is coming. A hard deadline is on the horizon, and for any organization that's using AI, believe me, the ground is already shaking. So let's get into it.
So this really boils down to one simple but incredibly important question. Are you actually ready for 2026? Because this isn't some problem for the future. It's a major challenge that needs your focus, like right now.
And here's the date you need to circle on your calendar, January 1st, 2026. This is not a suggestion, it's not a guideline, it is the hard and fast date when a whole new wave of AI laws starts getting enforced. The clock is officially ticking, folks.
What's really happening here is that the entire rulebook for AI is being rewritten. California, being the global hub for tech, is rolling out some of the most sweeping AI legislation anywhere in the world. It's creating this complex web of new rules that companies now have to figure out how to navigate. And look, we're not just talking about one law. It's a whole package deal. You've got the Transparency and Frontier AI Act. That one's aimed at the most powerful, cutting-edge AI models. Then there's SB 942, which is all about broader AI transparency. And there are even really specific laws, like AB 489, which is designed to crack down on any misleading AI claims in healthcare. And you better believe the penalties have some serious teeth. We are talking about fines of up to $1 million per violation. Now just think about that. For a telehealth startup or even a medium-sized tech company, one mistake could literally put you out of business. Okay, so who really needs to be paying the closest attention to all this? I mean, these laws are broad, but there are a few sectors that are squarely in the regulatory crosshairs. First up, telehealth providers. You are front and center. If you're using AI for diagnostics, patient check-ins, anything like that, you now have a legal duty to be transparent, to make sure a human is in the loop, and to tell your patients exactly how AI is involved in their care. And it's the same deal for hospitals and clinics. Any healthcare facility that's using AI to support its clinical work now needs to have really solid governance policies and, this is key, the documentation to back it all up. This is all about making sure patients are safe and their data is private in this new world of AI. And of course, this goes for the companies actually building the AI. The tech firms themselves have a huge new homework assignment. They're now on the hook to create incredibly detailed risk assessments and public reports. Honestly, in California, this kind of thing is becoming the price of admission to the market. So when you have a problem this complex and this high stakes, you can't just wing it. You need a specialist. And that's where a new type of expert enters the picture, one designed specifically to handle this crisis. Let me introduce you to the California Certified AI Compliance Officer, or CCAICO for short. This isn't just any consultant. This is a professional who has been specifically trained and certified on California's incredibly complex AI laws. Their entire job is to be your expert guide through this regulatory maze. But a CCIAC-ICO does more than just give you advice. They help you build the actual tangible proof you'll need to survive an audit. And this really comes down to having rigorous documentation, often in the form of very specific, auditable files. Right. We're talking about building a bulletproof paper trail. And this is why something as simple as a PDF becomes so important. It's a formal, auditable piece of evidence. A CCIOCO helps you assemble this whole library of proof that covers everything, your due diligence, your risk plans, your ethics policies. So when an auditor shows up, this is your defense. And this chart, wow, it really tells the whole story, doesn't it? For telehealth and AI tech firms, getting that regulatory compliance documentation right is a perfect 10 out of 10 on the demand scale. It's not optional, it's absolutely essential. And for hospitals, clinical documentation is right on its heels. This isn't a nice to have anymore. This is the core of how you survive. And not all AI is created equal. So the support can't be a one-size-fits-all solution either. A real compliance expert understands that different kinds of AI tech have different kinds of risks, and they need completely different playbooks. You can really break it down into two big buckets. On one side, you've got what's called frontier AI. These are the huge, cutting-edge systems with massive potential, but also massive risks that need super tight oversight. On the other side, you have AI workflow automation, which are the tools that help businesses run better, handling things like marketing or finance. And this is where a certified officer's expertise really adapts. For that big frontier AI, the focus is all on catastrophic risk assessments and safety. But for workflow automation, it's more about data privacy, making sure you're compliant with laws like CPRA and HIPAA. The approach is totally different, but that expert guidance is critical for both. So let's pull all this together. What's the bottom line? The deadline is real, the penalties are severe, and the path to get compliant is, well, it's complicated. The sense of urgency here really can't be overstated. You know, there's a quote that just perfectly captures this new reality. Responsible AI use in healthcare is not optional, but mandated. That's it. The era of treating AI governance like an afterthought is over. In California, it is now the law. And so we end right back where we started, with a question for you and your organization. With that January 2026 deadline looming, are you going to be leader in this new era of compliant, ethical AI? Or are you going to risk the serious consequences of being left behind? The time to make that choice is now.